We have for this session the resource person, Mr. Syed Arfat Ahmed, who is my colleague and is working in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering as an assistant professor. He has over 10 years of experience in teaching and learning, and his area of interests include AR.
If you want to ask, discuss with distance maintain. Discuss చేస్తే కూడా నేను ఎవరిగా అబ్జెక్షన్ చేస్తలేదు. Why means if you are discussing business purpose only you are discussing. Okay?
Kashinath sir, may I request you to mute your mic?
COVID, not understanding, yeah? Bro? Okay. Keep with yourself only.
Yes. Let's continue with the profile of Mr. Arfat Ahmed. His area of interests are augmented reality, virtual reality, and digital image processing. He is currently a research scholar at the Mewar University, Rajasthan, and he has published a lot of papers in reputed journals. And also he currently holds the additional charge of Controller of Examinations in MANUU from the last 4 years. Sir, I welcome you to this session and I request you to begin the talk.
Good afternoon, friends and colleagues. I heartily welcome all of you for this 5 days FDP session on virtual reality and augmented reality. And today we are going to discuss about AR and VR, particularly in education field. So let me just ask you a question. How many of you have experienced this AR or VR in your real life? You can just chat yes or no in the chat box so that I can have an idea what my audience is and what their experiences are. Just if at all you have experience, just give a chat as yes. If at all you have not, then no. Okay. Right. In the sense, today the persons who have joined with me are proactive and they have already experienced this virtual reality thing. So let me start my presentation. Let me present my screen. I'll just turn off my camera so that the bandwidth gets increases. Please interrupt me if at all I am not audible. Are you able to see my presentation in full screen mode? Any answer from anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. हाँ अरफात भाई
जी VR or AR in education, teaching, training and industry, right? So before going into the topic, I have just given one GIF file that a student is surrounding along with the device, and many things are revolving around him. In the sense, you'll come to know what actually a typical classroom is and how this AR and VR will help the teaching industry to get the students with a greater detail of learning of their experiences. Before going into the topic, we'll be having an outcome-based learning. By the end of the session, we all should be able to answer these 7 questions. The number 1 question is, what is AR or VR? And what is the scope of AR or VR? What are the equipments need to be used in AR and VR? How it is useful for education, training, and industry? And what should be the proper infrastructure that we should put on to achieve this technology? And after that, is this affordable? Can people like us can use this kind of technology, or do we need to have investors? So we look out, and then at the last we should be able to answer this. Are we ready to use this technology? So let us begin this session with a simple survey. How much time a normal person spend online? In the sense, a typical user, if we take a person is around our age, 30 plus, so how much time will he spend or she spend online? roughly calculating by the statistics given by the Forbes, that 48% of people have been involved in social media. In the sense, they will spend their time, in the sense, if at all they are not doing anything, they are doing social media. They are doing news or websites. They are just watching a movie, going for the Netflix, going for Disney Hotstar, watching online matches. Some other people will be going for TV, 45%, and the lastly, the teenagers who are having the age of 19 to 24, I can roughly correct it as in today's era, it is 13 to 24 will be involved in the games like PUBG and Battlegrounds India, and you can have Free Fire, a game that can be played by using Teams and along with a virtual environment. So if at all, I tell you what happens on internet in a minute, you will get shocked. In a sense, let me give you this survey. If at all a Facebook user is there, so a Facebook user will be watching the Facebook website at least 50 times a day in a complete day. This is just a normal user who is having our age. If at all it is a teenager around 13 to 19 age, they will be just visiting this Facebook website approximately 150 times a day. 150 times. The time has been taken to finish this slide will be approximately 1 minute. In 1 minute, 9 million Facebook messages has been exchanged between all the users. 5.10 lakh comments will be posted on a Facebook website. Approximately 3 lakh statuses will be updated in a single minute, as well as 2.40 lakh photos are uploaded every minute. In just a single minute onto a single Facebook website, this all is happening. Facebook has started back in year 2000s. At that time, we couldn't imagine that this will grow exponentially. Now we can't consider this Facebook as just only social networking websites. They have completed their own transitions. Like now Facebook will play ads. A normal user who use just Facebook for 30 minutes in a day will be visiting 12 ads, minimum of 12 ads in a day. Almost every user will spend approximately 1 hour onto Facebook website. And it has been learned that the persons who search Facebook, depending upon their geographical area, will buy the same thing in 24 hours or else in 1 or 2 days. This is the statistics given by Facebook. By this, their percentage of ads has been drastically increased from 0 to 30%. Now people will think Facebook as a website where I can publish my ad, where I can grow my business. Facebook is the thing that can build a brand, and most of the users here along with me has been seeing the local something like, if at all you have searched something around Google like buying a shoe online, you will be getting the same ad within some seconds in Facebook. How they are learning? They are just checking out our statistics. They are checking out our mobile device location and just putting out the message. More probably, if at all a person searches shoe, it is of age of something around 9 age, they won't be getting that ad. The person who is capable enough of taking the shoe or else buying the shoe will only be getting the ad. This precise information is now available with the Facebook. Then next we'll go to Twitter. 3.50 lakh tweets are sent every minute, and from those 3.5 lakhs, 7,000 are about TV actresses, and about movies, about serials. Nowadays, thanks to Netflix and Amazon, we are able to watch international TV dramas. This is something like Money Heist. There are 4 parts available on Netflix. Before this pandemic era, most of the people doesn't know money heist even existed. But now people are just waiting for the fifth part. And you know how many clicks has been done on a single day when they have released the trailer? 1.7 million in just some minutes. 1.7 million people were waiting for the money heist trailer to be watched. If at all we calculate how this pandemic has affected the Twitter, in the sense people used to watch only tweets. Now people are just watching tweet videos, and it has been drastically increased from 0 to 62%. In the sense, you can check out approximately 300 times the video watching rate has been increased if at all you are a Twitter user. And most of the business to business organization will take Twitter, and it also shares the same Facebook percentage of having 30% of business enhancement in their ads. And we'll go with the next thing, like this is the Snapchat, and this Snapchat may not be used by you and me. This has been used by the age group of 8 to 17, and in a minute 3 billion snaps are created. It is just an app where you need to just put on your face, and it will turn your face to a catfish. It will just turn your face to a beautify filter. It will just turn around to you dinosaur. These kind of snaps are going to be created, and 3 billion. You can't even imagine. If at all we take a survey deep into that, then 3 billion, 265 million active users are daily available any minute onto the Snapchat. 265 million worldwide. This is a very, very huge number. And whatever they search on Snapchat will buy from mobile device. In the sense, a Snapchat user, if at all he searches some local product, definitely he will buy by using only a mobile device. He will not be going for any website other. It has also been recorded. And if I go with this Instagram is really famous because of Instagram Reels. Now you need to capture 5 seconds to 10 seconds video. In that, people will do different things. You doesn't need to possess a different talent or a best person in this world to get likes. In today's world, likes are very, very important. Like there are stars you can check out onto the internet. There are millions of people who have become famous. One of the teenager is known as Carrie Minati. He doesn't possess any other talent. He just roasts, in the sense, whatever will be the discussion between two, he'll just edit the content and he'll post the content onto the internet. That's all. Doesn't need to have a good talent. Just if at all you are able to entertain people, then you will be liked. And approximately 65,000 to 66,000 photos are shared every minute onto this Instagram. And in a day, 95 million photos and videos are shared on a day. And Instagram will be having one effective filter, that whenever someone wants to visit a restaurant or else someone wants to eat some food, first they'll click a snap, they'll post onto the social media, and then they'll be eating, right? It has been recorded that Instagram users who frequently visits any restaurants local by approximately from their house 5 kilometers, they'll definitely post at least one pic of their food in a day, compulsory. And then next comes our Google. Google is exceptional from all of these. Just in a single minute, there are 4.3 million searches every day. In the sense, how these people are capable of handling, I don't know. It requires huge effort to manage this 4.3 million searches in a day. And everyone will be thinking that Google is dedicated to me. And let me share you this. Google is now given one special search is something like what is around me, or else if at all I want to have a mobile repair shop, I'll just type mobile repair near me or available near me. So from 2019 to 2020, this available near me has been drastically increased by 100%. 100% has been increased. And there is also a research says that if at all someone searches something onto the Google and then it goes to the YouTube, from that point of view, he will buy the product by taking the review in 24 hours by using Amazon website. Someone searches Google, go to YouTube, then he will definitely buy that product by using Amazon website in 24 hours. And when it comes to Google, 46% of searches is available near me only. 75% of the Google searches are made, 75 to 80% of Google searches are made by using their mobiles. Nowadays, people are just using their mobiles rather than searching from the computer. 80% of the people are satisfied by the Google searches, 81%. There is a huge increases in the mobile device by 500% from 2017 to 2019.
Hello, sir, there is no audio. We can see the slide, but there is no audio.
Was a power cut in at university. So am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let me continue this. We were discussing about Google. And then now if it come to our LinkedIn website, and this has been recorded that there are approximately 40 million people turning to the LinkedIn website for jobs every month. It has been 303 million active users per month. If you could calculate the population online, then LinkedIn will be the largest country on the planet. If we count the number of users who are active and who are professionals, approximately aging around 3+, and from 40 the people will be getting a job by using just LinkedIn website. And lastly, I have kept this YouTube, and in a day 1 billion hours of YouTube videos are watched. 1 billion hours, approximately 140 million hours of content has been consumed only for the Netflix. Due to pandemic, 140 million hours of data will be just used to watch Netflix every day. People watch more than 1 billion YouTube videos every day. 2 billion people will log every month onto YouTube website, new 2 billion. 90% of the people say that they will come to know new brands by using YouTube. In a sense, people used to know what a brand actually is. They'll just visit the YouTube by using the ads and all, they'll come to know. One of the example I'll give you, most of the people will be having this ad. As we are professionals, Grammarly ad will be played whenever you use your YouTube. Grammarly. What it does, it just correct your sentences and all that. It also track what you are typing even. And 70% of the people watch videos from the mobile. In a sense, nowadays PCs are just going away. People are just turning everything, their focus onto their mobile. And now you can just have a survey how many people are using laptop to have a conversation or listening in FDP. No, we just use our mobile because it is fully capable now, because we have developed app in such a way that it is very mobile friendly and people are able to operate easily. And because of this pandemic, we need to thank this pandemic. YouTube live streaming has been increased drastically from 0 to 45%. Now everyone just take out some of the some Google suite by using 5,000 rupees, 1,700 rupees, and they'll just if at all participants increase from some number, they'll just go to YouTube streaming. So actually, what causes this to the society? Even you can just have this GIF movie that someone is droning down into the water. Then also he is just having an app. First he's telling the app so that I can be taken out from the water. What impact it is going to create in next coming 10 to 20 years? If it all this goes around something like this, then what happens in next 20 to 10 years? We can't predict. How will be the effects? Because we have a grown age, it will be affecting our children. Now if at all you just take a survey, you just download a game that is suitable for age of 12 and give the mobile to your 3-year-old or 4-year-old, he's able to operate everything rigorously. He'll not tell you to let you show how it's get operated. In a sense, after 2-3 times, he's able to operate it easily. He's able to kill persons if at all it is a battleground game. And if at all it continues, so what technology we require in learning? And I'll just tell you what actually people do on internet mostly. What actually people do, they'll just do these things. Do you remember him? Can anyone name what his name is? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can anyone name name him? He's just a Turkish chef. His name is Salt Bay. Do you know how many followers this Turkish chef has? 37.2 billion followers. Billion. And another chef we are having. These two people are currently rocking Instagram and YouTube just by using their techniques, by just pushing around salt onto the dishes. Are we not going to use salt in our dishes? No, we are going to use. Then why people are just watching them? Why people making them famous? Everyone wants to follow him. Why? Because we live in India. From India, even if at all you look around, you'll be having 3 million followers who follow a Turkish chef. Why? People just want to become famous. They want to get followed. So what do you think? Why people are addicted to social media? Most of the people will be telling that social media addiction is very dangerous. No one knows the answer why people are addicted. What social media does you? What social media gives you? It gives you FOMO. This is the coined term, fear of missing out. In the sense, you will be left behind if at all you don't use Facebook. Most of the people think that I need to use Facebook because I need to have an account of the Facebook, because I need to use Paytm, I need to use PhonePe. These kind of app requires Facebook account. So if you don't want to let behind, so fear of missing out is there to use social media. Next is when you will be using Facebook media, you'll get depressed because your friends are having a very good party tonight and you have not been invited. You are missing out yourself into their photos. And you'll see the people who are very happy, something like you'll see Ambani's lifestyle. Someone will post and you'll be getting a forward that he'll be having something like 40 crores spent only on swimming pool, and you think that 40,000 is not your salary. This is the reason people get addicted to social media. Just they want to roar themselves and they want to achieve their lifestyle without doing any hard work. And everyone wants to post something and they just want some thousands of likes onto their post. Like most of the people will be just posting their status in the sense they have visited this temple, they have visited this pilgrimage, they have visited this pool, they have visited this restaurant, and they think that if at all I put this onto social media, I'll be getting likes. But if they don't get, they get depressed. And this is the most depressing part. Like seeing your loved one with someone else, people get depressed. And you can check out TikTok. TikTok is very famous because of love interest kind of things. In the sense, there are many songs available on the TikTok with the lip sync that creates a saddened moment, and people enjoy even sadness today. And this is a rough thing. Like you'll be just opening a Google search and you'll be getting that in coming election in UP BJP is going to gain power. You get depressed. Why you are getting depressed? It is just an imagination. People just want to know whether you are going to click it or not. Just ignore it, or else just unsubscribe from that news channel. But people don't do that. People, what they will do, they'll just try to answer that. And in today's world, being trolled is something like a very good thing. Do you know Sadak 2 trailer was released online, and this is the most disliked trailer in India, even today. In a sense, negative publicity is also publicity in today's world. So what social media gives you, I'll tell you why people are addicted to this. Even this is having these many cons, people are addicted with the social media. It gives you Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all that. Along with it gives you a chance to live a dream life, in the sense that life that you want to live is available on social media. I'll tell you how. And it will make you popular than others, in the sense, if at all you are having 30 friends and your friend is not having even a single person as a friend on social media, then you are more popular than him. You have won that battle, right? Brands are made by social media nowadays. This is true, a bitter truth. Before, it used to have only Rado as a brand, Mercedes as a brand, but now you can see different brands are available in social media. People will make different brands using just social media. Snapchat filter, I'll give you an example why people are addicted. This is you, right? And if you apply a beautify filter, you become this. Now, don't you like yourself? Definitely you like yourself. Suppose you are weighing around 90 kgs and no one wants to be a friend of you, and you just apply a beautify filter and you become weighing around 40. Don't you like yourself? No, you want that fake life, and everyone is happy with that. This is about teenage girls. I'll tell you how boys are. Snapchat filters for bodybuilding. This is you. You apply a filter, you become this. Are you happy with your physique now? Yes, you doesn't need any sort of gym. You just apply a filter, you become this. And people are very happy. So that is the reason they are addicted. They don't want social media to go away. And this is the group age around 13 to 17, or else we can extend it to 19. These are the users of the Facebook filters or Snapchat filters. TikTok was one of the most raging software available for these kind of filters. Thanks to Prime Minister and his team, they have banned this TikTok. What TikTok has given to India? Nothing, just kachra, just filters. And there was a previous proverb when I used to study in my second standard or third standard. My headmaster used to tell, "पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो तुम होगे खराब." How many of you believe now that if we play, if we won't study, we won't be successful? Does anyone think like that? If you excel in a single field and if you don't study, then also it is possible to make a career in today's world. Now the proverb has been changed. पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो होंगे खराब, जो तुम खेलोगे कूदोगे तो बनोगे नवाब. Just a simple event, if you hit an Olympics with a gold, what happens? It just change your life. You are having real-time examples. I doesn't need to give any sort of example to you. This is the mindset in today's world. For every now and then, we are just changing ourselves. What parents want their child to be actually? Being a parent, you also think that your child need to have a good career. In what do you think a good career is? Just studying is a good career, or else just pursuing sports is a good career? I'll just show you some of the pics. You just tell me what is their qualifications. Does anyone know him? Is Virat Kohli Indian captain, cricket captain? Do anyone know what his qualification is? Second thing, Olympian, gold medalist, Neeraj Chopra. Do anyone know what the qualification is? No, we don't know. She's PV Sindhu. Then we are having Sadhguru. You know who Sadhguru is? Sadhguru is the motivational speaker. And in India, he tops the rank list. And lastly, we are having many more to come, like Mirabai Chanu. Why they are famous? They are famous because they are self-motivated and confident. They are very thoughtful. They are the problem solvers. They will just work on their weakness and turns them into strength. This is the part it was missing previously a decade before. We doesn't need to have any sort of, in India, taking 7 Olympic medals is the first time in the history of India. It was not being done before. And now we have succeeded. Why? Because we are now able to solve our problems. We are now working on our weakness and turning them into strengths. And these people are very resilient. हार जाएंगे तो छोड़ेंगे नहीं. कब तक नहीं छोड़ेंगे? जब तक जीतेंगे नहीं. And they are very skillful in their approach. In 2018, if I remember, Kohli is going a very rough phase in his life. Like he's getting LBW every now and then. What he has done, he has just taken the time. He has changed his stance, standing. If at all you know the cricket, then you should have known stance, right? He has changed himself. Now he is turned into a different beast. He is just a runner. He is very fit. Why? Because he always work on his weakness. And if you work on your weakness, then no one is going to touch you. They are very creative, imaginative, intentive, and very focused. And they are damn positive about their learning. Not the whole world you need to know. You just need to know what you are capable of. This is a predominant era where you need to focus on a single thing and you need to achieve success. Previously, only study you need to have. Now, you need to concentrate on a single sport, or you need to just move in a single direction, and then you can achieve success. I hope this is very clear to all the parents, right? And everyone wants their parents to be confident, thoughtful, motivated, and they want to become like Virat, PV Sindhu, Mirabai Chanu. And this is the learning pyramid. In the sense, how much do we remember? Doesn't even know. We have I'll just recall myself that we have just listened to Dr. Abhishek's lecture. How many of you can recall what exactly he has told? No, because of we are human beings. We have been given a ability so that if at all we just move from the place, we just forget everything. Or else the retention rate is very, very, very much low. I'll show you the retention rate. This is the retention rate. If at all we read, we'll remember only 10% of the whole reading. If at all I read a whole page, I just remember only 2 to 3 lines that what I have read. If at all I go with hearing, in the sense, if at all I listen a song, I can remember approximately around roughly 20%. If at all I just see something, in the sense, if at all I just walk into a park and then I can remember some of the things like where the bench is located, where I can have water, where I can play with the area, where are these plants, where are these fruits, where are the vegetables are planted. I can just roughly sketch around 30% of what I remember. 50% will be the retention rate if at all we go with audio and video like cinema. This is the reason people watch cinema and the retention rate is increased. 70% of learning rate is there if at all we discuss the same thing what we have learned with others. In the sense, most of you in engineering, before writing the examination, you will find a friend so that you can just tell him what you have learned and you will explain each and every chapter in short, or else you will, in a nutshell, you will just tell everything to him, and then the examination that you give will be having a retention rate of comparatively higher. You will also score good marks, and 80% is the exceptional rate of remembering that can be achieved if at all we live the moment or if we personally experience the moment, and 95% is the retention rate of a teacher. In the sense, if we teach the same subject for thrice and 4 times, then our retention rate will reach approximately to 95%. So now, if at all being a parent, think like that, in what category you think your child should be? From scale of 10 to 95. 95% is not possible because this can be only achieved by a teacher, and student will go to a class once in a year. In the sense, he cannot study LKG 4 times, right? So what we can achieve? We can achieve of 80%. We can try for this 80%. How? I'll tell you. This learning pyramid has been given by one of the scientists from the education like pedagogist Edgar Dale. You can find it on the Google. What are the shifts of 21st century? If at all we will be talking about, there are drastic changes that has been happening in our century. What are that changes are actually? I'll tell you the 3 changes are. First, there is a drastic increase in PCs, and now every home is connected with the internet, and every internet connected home is having 2 to 3 mobiles, that 2 smartphones. Am I correct? And the next thing, every now and then, approximately, if at all I take if I take WhatsApp, from the point this lecture has been started, many of you has been checking your status of your friends approximately 3 to 5 times, if at all I'm not wrong, if at all the statistics are not wrong. The days are gone where we used to visit the bank and check out our balance. Now, using PhonePe, Paytm, and different apps, you can check your mobile phones, and by you checking your mobile phone, you can just check out what balance actually is there into your accounts. And this is the true behavior of modern society, and everyone is finding natural. Everyone is finding it as natural for checking out WhatsApp 50 to 70 times a day. Especially when you are bored, what you will go? You will just go to YouTube. You will just watch a video that has been previously given by YouTube. Right? So, what are the issues faced by our teachers? In the sense, what are the issues faced by us in today's era? The first issue is student engagement. We all are complaining that due to pandemic, we are not able to engage student properly. In the sense, he'll just logging in there and turning off his camera as well as turning off his mic and just sitting idle. Doesn't need to follow. Some point of time, some teacher says that after the class has been ended, people are not responding. People are not giving their papers on time. Student engagement is a very big problem. In 1980s, when PCs had been introduced in the schools, people will thought that this is a cutting edge technology. Everything we are going to learn by using PC. But that method is also obsolete now. In the sense, for PC, students need to come to the classroom. And now being pandemic, we cannot call our students to our classrooms. They are not deployed there. Then what? Then what will be the solution? Then how we are going to increase the knowledge retention rate? How will be the class interesting? How will be the class going to be interesting? What kind of mechanism we require being a teacher? If at all we think that, we need to get the answer. A typical classroom will look like this. You'll be having benches, you'll be having desks, you'll be having a projector over there, a Wi-Fi, a water dispenser, and a board. And some of the things may be varying from different classroom, different geographical conditions. Some may be having painting, some may be having a class notice board, some may be having a star student of the class. Apart from this, there is no much changes in a classroom. I think everyone is following me in the sense, I don't find a typical classroom beyond this. Even if at all we are using any mobile, a app is getting updated 4 months at a max. Why not we are updating our classroom? Why not we are introducing a new technology into our classroom? Why not we are giving something interesting to the students? To give something interesting to the student, Einstein wisely said that the only source of knowledge is experience. If at all we are working on any VR or AR technology, that the same technology is based on only a single statement. That is the only source of knowledge is experience. Now people have realized that if at all you want to increase your knowledge, or if at all you want to increase your knowledge experience, you need to change your style, you need to change your methodology, you need to drift from typical classroom to a different classroom environment. A new classroom should be like something this. What do you think your child will prefer? Either your child is going to prefer that classroom, or else he'll be happy with this. You can just feel the happy faces of the students, how they can feel. If at all the learning is an experience, then your engagement will automatically increase. People will come to your classroom because every day they find a new thing. They'll remember everything, and their retention rate will just increase from 10 to 80%. In the sense, if at all you take your child to a movie, after some months you will take him to something like a shopping mall, and he finds the same toy there, then he'll recall and he'll tell you, Papa, Mama, this has been shown in that movie and I want that toy. Even you don't remember, but this child will remember. Why? Because if they experience, they learn new things, and if they learn new things in an experience way, they'll remember that. The future learning is this. This is known as fourth wave virtual reality. Now, what we need to do after this FDP, I request all of you to buy a simple device. I'll tell you where to buy and what will be the product cost. I'll tell you to experience this, because if you experience, then definitely you will buy this technology, or you'll just try to adapt this technology in near future. So the first question will be how we can deliver this experience to the students with the limitations of our classroom. If at all we try to implement new rules in the classroom, people will participate for 1 day, 2 day, and 3rd day. Even some teachers will also find difficult that people are not following my new technologies, in the sense different teacher is teaching in a classic way, I'm not teaching that, and some people will even complain. So they find very difficult by using this new thing. So whenever a new thing comes, it will create chaos. In the sense, people are very resistant. If at all someone tells you, you need to go to some location and then you need to have training how to use VR technology, you will find it difficult because you're having a family to feed. Yeah, why will you go for an FDP and you'll be just enhancing your experience for 1 month? Who will be looking after your family? So people are very resilient. They don't want to change their location. They want everything to come to their location. But is it possible? You need to answer that. What technology will give you this immersive experience that even a school child at school normally doesn't forget it? And the answer is virtual reality and augmented reality. This term is also coined as the fourth wave. How we are going to use this virtual technology and augmented reality technology in our classroom, we'll tell you. Right? I think now people have gone, people have understood, or they will be having a background that mobile phones has been increased drastically. Just we need to take that mobile and we need to take that mobile to the classroom and experience this virtual or augmented reality, so that what happens, the retention rate will be increased and the productivity will drastically increase if at all these people come out of their project, come out of their bachelor's or masters. When they hit the market, they'll be having everything crystal clearly understood. If at all we go with this engineering students, if at all I ask someone how a motor works, everyone will be just keeping quiet. If at all I let them know how actually if motor functions in real time, not using just pen and paper, not using just board, if at all I make them learn by using augmented reality, definitely they will answer. They'll answer something. They'll just tell that a flux is generated, South Pole, North Pole, because they have experienced. And I can guarantee you what you have experienced with your full concentration, you will remember forever. And what motivates, what actually motivates AR and VR? It is just a piece of paper, A4 size sheet, but whenever you see that, it comes to life. This is augmented reality. If at all you give this paper to your child, and if at all he uses that device and see that, then he'll definitely get enthusiastic. Arey, yeah, this is already available into my body, and I am able to see that, and I am able to experience that. Firstly, what he will do, he'll just count the bones which are available into my skeleton. If at all someone asks him how many bones you are having in a skeleton, he's able to answer. If you draw something onto the board, if at all you are a very perfect painter, even you can't draw exact figure how it looks like. But in a CGI, computer graphic environment, it is possible. We just need to do the things in a perfect way so that each and everyone can understand easily. This is from class 6th and everyone has studied this, but the way it has been shown into this picture is awesome. And we even know what these intestines and all that, right? I'll take you another example. What motivates here? A typical student sitting in his room using a device, he can just she can just change the environment, and by using this device, he just enter into a new reality world or virtual world. By using this device, people will find it very easy to learn, as many of you have experienced already. What is actually VR says? There was a cinematographer named Martin Leonard. First, he was the person who coined this virtual reality back in 1880s. And in 1957, he has developed one machine known as Sensorama. And then Sensorama is something like this. A person, he himself is there sitting around watching the video, and what this Sensorama gives to you is it gives you a 3D vision, and it gives you a complete wide vision. If at all you move your head, then you are able to see road, and as well as you are able to see what is behind the road, what is coming around, how many plants have been posted, and who is going other way, by the other way. And it has been this chair has been designed in such a way that if it gives you the motion like 66-degree angle, you can turn around 67 degrees, and different aromas has been used, different colors has been used, different stereo sound has been used, so that it creates vibration into your chair so that you find that you have been riding that motorcycle. And this experiment was successfully completed and it has been given a patent in 1962. And what it contains a simple bike riding on the streets of Brooklyn, where you'll be having wind onto your face, you'll be having motion onto your bike, you'll be having different aromas which are available at that time, you'll be having different vibrations, speed breakers, everything in detail was covered. But Sensorama has failed because at that time there are no more investors to invest these kind of there were no more investors who used to invest in these kind of devices. Nowadays, if at all you visit any of the in-orbit mall and that kind of mall, you find a gaming zone, right? That are the products of Sensorama only. People used to ride a bike, people used to have a device, and then they can feel that they are riding in a virtual environment. And if you break down your bicycle, it will stop. If you race it, it will go faster. If you change the gear, it affects. Everything is going to be affected, and people will just waste their hours and hours using that technology. And no children want to come out of that gaming zone. If you take your children to that gaming zone one day, and next what happened, what actually VR does, VR will take you, or VR virtual reality will immerse you into a different world where you are a perfect user. You can learn this by using this image. You can understand, you onto just a simple gesture, a skeleton has been prepared, and onto that skeleton flesh has been loaded, veins has been loaded, a complete structure of a man has been created onto just a by using just a gesture control. And if I can control this, can't I take this to my classroom, is the next question. Yes, I can take this to my classroom. Oh, in the sense, if what I need to do, I need to record a video in such an environment, everything in 360 degrees has been captured. I need to just make sure that everything is captured. If at all a person is looking around, turning around in 360 direction, panoramic direction, everything need to be captured and then is to be filmed and edited and presented in a video such a way that people move along with that video will also move. How VR can improve your education? How VR can improve your education? By simply providing the students with memorable experience. In education sector, what we focus, what we want our children to be after they come to home, we just ask some of the questions that he has studied in. Some people are able to remember, and most of the students are not able to remember. Why? Even though they have calculated everything and they have been given good marks in the class, after they come to the school, come after the school to the home, they are not able to remember. They are, why? Because of the learning pyramid. Only 10% is the retention rate, because while coming to home, he'll be experience different things. He'll be talking to his friends, he'll be just visiting a kulfi chaat or else any shop, he'll be buying different things. So his mind is overloaded at that time. The things which he has studied is going interior, and the activity he has done is onto his mind. If you tell them how you came from school, they are able to tell each and everything. In the sense, they have first visited the chaat bhandar and they had taken kulfi, and then he has dropped his friend, and then after that these people have been dropped and I came to home, because he lived that, he has experienced that. And after while calculating the sum, he has used his mind. He has just done something like a plus b whole square, and then he doesn't know why a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab, and he has been given 5 out of 5 marks because he has solved it correctly, and he doesn't know anything about that. Most of the people sitting around in the class, most of the people doesn't know why a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. This is a bitter truth. Everyone know trigonometry. They have studied, they have gone good marks, they have taken good marks, but Pythagoras theorem, if at all I tell you now, apply that onto the screen, I'll throw you a problem and just give me the solution, may not be possible for everyone. Because after that, you have been given different things. Some may be having engineering background, some may be having literature background. Everyone has studied Pythagoras theorem, but they are not able to recall that. Why? Because they have not experienced that. If at all they could have experienced then they would be able to do comparatively stronger than they could have been given in the classic way. And what actually VR is accessible to each and every student, and nowadays you can easily monitor this by using a simple app. In the sense, you need to install an app onto every device and you need to have a centered control as a teacher. VR is having power to engage students and inspire students in a unique and powerful way. In the sense, if at all you provide this experience to students, they will learn this by their experience. They'll just try to touch, they'll just try to engage themselves into that. Do you know where Burj Khalifa is located? Most of the people will be telling that in Dubai it is located. If at all I ask where actually, what is the base, where it is around the sea, in the sense it is surrounded by a water. Do you know that? Most of the people will be knowing that. Some of persons like me won't be having that experience because I didn't visit it. If it also I ask someone who has been visited Burj Khalifa, then he'll be saying, no, it is around water. Which technology has been used? How can a building of that height is readily available and has been existing since years in water? How is it possible? Gyrometer technology, simple answer. But if at all we know, if at all we experience, then only we can tell that. There is a YouTube video. I'll just show you how this augmented reality will work. Just give me a second. I'll just play. I can use my mouse pointer and I can just change my
Coral
view.
reefs are the most diverse and productive ecosystems in the world's oceans.
I can just change
just 0.1%
what I want to see.
Yet 25% of all marine species are found here.
I can see everything.
Coral reefs are home to a complex web of resident species that rely on each other for food, shelter, health, and breeding areas. But many other species also depend on reefs for their survival, from pelagic fish, sharks, turtles, marine mammals, birds, and of course humans. Healthy coral reefs are essential for fisheries, coastal protection, and tourism, and therefore the livelihoods and well-being of hundreds of thousands of Tanzanians. But reefs all over the world are threatened by human activities, such as unsustainable fishing, pollution, physical damage, and the impacts of climate change. Research estimates that under current conditions, 80% of the world's reefs will not survive beyond 2050. But it's not too late. Science reveals the problems, but can also suggest solutions. WCS has been studying the world's tropical reefs for decades, including 94 sites in Tanzania. These long-term data provide crucial insights into the impacts of human activities. The research has also demonstrated that Tanzania has some unique geographic features that create stable ocean temperature and that can shield many reefs from the impacts of climate change. Tanzania's reefs also have a unique community of fish and corals that are not found anywhere else in the Western Indian Ocean, which makes them a global priority for conservation. However, Over and destructive fishing remains a huge threat to Indian Ocean reefs. Many corals and fish populations cannot persist in the face of current practices. Scientists use different methods to assess reef health. Measuring fish biomass or the weight of fish per unit area of reef is a good way to evaluate the impacts. The resulting diverse ecosystem and fish population increases the reef's resilience to climate change. In addition to sustaining productive fisheries, reefs in this category also have higher tourism.
Let me ask you a question. How many of you have saw a reef in your real life? It is very difficult to see a reef, but by using this VR, it is possible, right? We'll be discussing around today, we are discussing around augmented reality in today's session also, how it is useful in our teaching and learning. Apart from VR, AR is the term relatively like familiar to the real world. In the sense, augment means to increase or to add something in the reality. In the sense, if at all I'm working onto my desk and I can use a device and I can project everything onto my desk. In the sense, I can just play something around. I'll ask my Alexa or else any voice assistant to read my emails as well as display my emails onto my table, or else I can display my emails onto a wall, or else I can display the email onto a wardrobe. These can be achieved by using augmented reality. Augmented reality in the sense adding the reality to existing things which are physically available. Augmented reality is far different with virtual reality. By augmented reality, it is a combination of real thing along with some virtuality. What actually augmented reality does, it brings life to the content that has been given. If at all I give a paper along with a device to a student and it is having a heart that is beating, by putting up the device he can see that, then he will be enjoying that content. He'll come to know how actually heart beats, what happens when it beats, how the blood flows into the blood vessels. Most of the people will know that heart is pumping our blood to every vital organ and to our body, but how actually it does, how the blood flow into the vein, what are RBCs, what are WBCs, what are platelets, sorry. So if at all I give something in motion, in the sense, if at all I give something in a video format and student is able to touch and feel it, then he can remember that thing very long. By using augmented reality, students are able to view different things. In the sense, they can go to moon and they can just sit around there and they can watch how a surface of the moon will be looking like. They can just use the device and they can just go deep down into the earth, right? And they can just watch how the fishes are living into the water kingdom, and what are the reefs differently available to us, how a whale swallows water, and how a whale is going to hunt for his food, her food. If at all you bring these content to the life, then it is very interesting for both the teacher and to the student to learn thing in a proper way. And if at all we are able to interact with 3D models, it is very easy to understand that, especially in the field of medicine, in the field of tourism, these models are required highly, because most of the people will be traveling around, and when they travel they need to ask what kind of restaurant it actually is. But in nowadays, you just open up your camera and just point out that it will tell you what that restaurant is, if at all it is available onto the internet, or else if Google knows about that. And trust me, Google knows each and everything. Each and everything. You can search around your home by using Google Earth, and it will precisely tell you what is the geotagging of your home. And you can interact with Google Lens. You can just turn on the Google Lens and you can just show to the by using a depth of 1 to 2 meters, and it will tell you what device it is actually, and where to find, and what actually it is of use, and what will be the cost of that. If at all that device is not available, then what will be the replacement of the device. It will completely give you the picture. If at all you open up your camera and you points out to a refrigerator, it will tell you which company refrigerator it is. Now Google Lens is capable of these kind of things, and it will provide you a greater engagement, and you will enjoy the content, and you will be understanding. And lastly, our ultimate goal for education and industry by using AR VR is knowledge retention. Most of the people know what is an atom, but no one knows how an atom works. And especially me, I have never seen an atom in my life, even though I have studied chemistry. And this will be the case with most of you. Some may have been seen, but I don't find anyone in my life who has seen an atom. Even my chemistry sir used to say that, get out of the class if at all you ask these kind of questions, because it's very hard. You cannot make them learn in a typical classroom what an atom is. You need to just imagine. And a teacher can imagine because he's having experience. But a student like me, it's very difficult at the age of 16 defining an atom. It is merely impossible for me at that time. And now by using virtual reality, I can give something to my students. I can give impossible things to my students because of virtual reality. And if at all, right now it is possible to catch a running plane by using virtual reality. It is now possible to look around how blood flows in a blood vessel. It is now possible to structure out what an atom looks like and how the structure of an atom is actually, just not using the typical board, typical blackboard, or else any other technology. Just if at all I give him a simple video, a 360-degree video, then he can just imagine, and he can just touch around, and he can feel an atom, and he can just go down to the depths of ocean, or he can just walk onto the surface of an ocean, and he can climb an Everest, and what not he can do. He can interact with the creatures, something like dinosaurs. He can interact with Superman, Hitman, and our best example for this is augmented reality is Harry Potter. Everyone sitting around would have watched Harry Potter full series 2 to 3 times, and they enjoy, and they think that Hogwarts exists. But in reality, it is not possible for the Dumbledore to continue as Hogwarts principal. What actually virtual reality gives to the students? It gives the unparalleled opportunity to engage them in a conversation, engage them in a meeting, engage them in education. It increases their interest. This research has been done by taking around 1,000 students. It has been divided into groups. In Korea, 500 students will be given AR VR technology, and another 500 has been given a typical classroom engagement, and the results is something like 70 to 80% are the retention rates if at all you take an oral examination after 1 month. The students who has been given AR and VR has been given good answers, comparatively 70 to 80% those who are having a typical mode classroom. Like persons like us, persons like me, with an average knowledge, it's very difficult to retain what I have been telling, to retain what I have been learned. But using this video technology, AR, VR technology, we can just enhance our experience. Don't we find it very easy to use this technology into our classroom? No, I don't think so, because there are many challenges to come. Like who will give you the money to invest? What kind of devices we require? What kind of infrastructure we need to use? What kind of technology shift we need to have into our teachers? How much hours of training need to be given? These questions are to be answered. And in the coming slides, I'll try to answer this, I'll try to address this. And I hope this session is, you people are able to follow this session. And I'll complete this into a nutshell, like virtual reality brings education to life. And as said by Edison, that learning should be an experience. And if learning is an experience, then knowledge retention for any education at any age or any student from PG, from lower classes to a scholar, the learning rate goes drastically high. And how we can achieve this? We are just telling that this will shift, that will shift. Who will be doing that? First question, are we capable enough to use that? Sitting around here, if I just tell you this technology will be there in your future, then how I should tell you? In the sense, what are the devices need to be involved in that? Right now, we are using this Wi-Fi, and this Wi-Fi is also not working at some places. Then how can we expect this VR to be there in every classroom, in every part of India? How? The answer is, what will be the infrastructure? Infrastructure in the sense, you will be having a network, complete network you need to have. In the sense, if all you need to have a teacher controlled environment with the student, then you need to have a complete network for this. That Wi-Fi network is different, and then you need to have this network at your site. It need to be get installed. Then next, can we use our existing devices? Yes, we can use our existing devices. Nowadays, we are having a technology shift for softwares. We are having different apps for each and every specific purposes. Like during pandemic, you have not been known to Google Meet, but some people will think that in some of the surveys, it has been shown that coronavirus has given rise drastically to Google Suite. Now people are just using and expertised using Google Meet. Some people think that due to pandemic, Google Meet has been developed, or Google Meet was not popular, so that coronavirus has been given. There are different opinions. You can find it onto the Facebook, or else on any of the websites that which are having political views. People will think that due to what type of condition, some people think that coronavirus is also a biowar. China want to destroy each and every country, and he want his Zoom technology to be overloaded everywhere. So that's why they have introduced. Some people will say that every information for the Zoom will go through China server. Different people will be having different opinions around that. But are we ready for VR? Who is going to control its complete usage? In a sense, can a teacher control these many devices onto a single click, as well as engaging them, as well as making them use of it? Or else, how teacher can develop a content so that it can be given to the students is the question. How there are different softwares available. In today's lecture, Dr. Abhishek sir has told that you will be having Unity kind of software. In coming sessions, you will be having Python. By using that, you can also develop this an environment where you can have infrastructure, like something like motor is functioning, and each and everything you can develop. One of the example is Blender technology, where you can design a complete furniture into home. I'll tell you an example. Many of you people will be visiting IKEA stores situated in Gachibowli. IKEA is using this augmented reality technology. You just need to download your IKEA app, and then you need to select a sofa. And you need to project that sofa will be situated in my home at this point, and it will tell you whether you can fit that sofa into that by calculating the depth as well as the height of your house. In a sense, it will calculate whether this is suitable or not, or else you need to go to some changes, or else you need to find a different sofa for your different need. It will tell you by using augmented reality. It does nothing, it just calculate how much distance is left behind and this sofa can be fitted or not. If at all you do this research, then what happens? Rework is drastically decreased. Now, what are the additional requirements need to implement? In the sense, if at all I implement this network, who will be looking after it? What is the security to be provided? Are my content being released onto internet? How will be the question? And next, what will be the total cost of ownership? In a sense, if at all a manufacturing defect has been done onto the device, or else if at all someone takes out 100 VR sets, and after taking that in a month, all the devices softwares need to be updated, and now my devices become obsolete. Who is responsible for that? Who will take the ownership of the total cost? Who is going to manage them? And if at all a device has been fallen down and has been damaged, can we find the damaged parts onto the internet, or else any replacement for the part has been given, or any guarantee or warranty are available on till date? We need to check out how quickly these hardware and software improve, or how the technology drifts from one year to another year. What are the, if there are major changes, and if at all we buy in December and in the next year 2022 is something like new operating system has been released on all the devices, has been updated, and now my device becomes slow. And most of the people has been experiencing like this. Whenever they update their mobile, it will tell you that you will be providing security, it will tell you that you will be providing more safer environment, it will tell you you will be having good enhanced experience. After some days your mobile will lag. Why? Because the mobile is not capable enough for handling these updates. It was capable what you have taken from the shop, now it is not capable enough. What you will do? You has to be forcefully, you will be going to the shop and then you will be exchanging the device. Most of the time this happens for each and everyone. This is the reason most of the people, most of the software engineers don't go with this option, developer option. If at all you use developer option in your Google device, what happens? It automatically improves or automatically update your software, and then your mobile device will lag in some of the softwares. So we should not do that. And are these affordable in the years to come? If at all we take our devices and in the next time or next year, if they increase the software price or app price, how we are going to afford that? What concerns when you are using this virtual reality? Are these virtual reality are safe, and are they ergonomically safe? Is there going to be any health side effect? Are there going to be any safety things to be covered? If at all I use this, how emotionally I behave after the class or after the usage? If at all I use it around 4 hours or 5 hours, then what happens to my eyes? What happens to my personality? What happens to my emotion? What happens to my well-being? This also we needed to be the concern thing. And in the long term effect, what will be the vision? What will be the diverse effect for the children's vision? What kind of diseases are there if at all we use this technology for approximately 4 to 5 hours? What happens when I use these headsets continuously 4 to 5 hours a day? What happens to my eyes? What happens to my body? Emotional development of child, if at all, it has also been noted that children or students will follow their dream hero. In the sense, if at all something like if children see Iron Man is jumping from the floor, some people, approximately 1 to 2% of the cases has been shown that they will try to do the same thing. Like they'll stand onto a floor and they'll try to jump. Right. So if at all we take our students to virtual reality, how will they behave after the class is also a point of concern for the parents. And now, can we handle these kind of sensory sensors? Can I use these many sensors? What is the diverse effect of these sensors to my human body? This is also a point of concern. Careful consideration is required while using our virtual devices. These devices are available with the different pricing I will show you. And what you need to decide is what suits for me best and what age is the appropriate age of my children to be engaged by using this virtual reality. And because of lack of research in the sense, or else all the companies are showing interest in virtual reality, it has been increasing rapidly day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. And what will be the right equipment, how to install, how to manage after installation? Do we require any expert technician to use that? If at all some error happens, or else any device breakage, or else we doesn't need to know, we need to know how to upload our devices, how to take out, what training is there for the teachers, how to use it effectively. All these points need to be considered if at all we are using this in education, training, and in industry. How can be the measuring success of outcomes, in the sense, if at all we go with the classes like we are once in a week, then how you are going to conduct the examination, right? What will be the outcomes for using it? How much successful rate you are expecting it from it? Here you can find one of the devices. This has been taken from this device. There are many VR devices commercially available on to this date. One of the first device that has been introduced is Oculus Rift. This has been introduced by Samsung in collaboration with Oculus Rift. Now this has been owned by Facebook. Many of you have noted that Facebook co-spaces has been closed, and now Facebook is turning their attention to a new platform is known as Facebook Horizon. It is a complete environment where user can interact with each and everything. What you need to have? You just need to have this Oculus Quest. Now, this Oculus Rift has been outdated. You are in market. You are having Oculus Quest 2. It comes with the different variants like 64 GB memory, same as like a phone. 64 GB memory, 32 GB memory, 16 GB memory. The more GB you have, the higher experience you will be having. But a simple thing that Oculus Rift was having, Oculus Rift need to have an external PC and a tethered like Bluetooth connection was required. But in Oculus 2, in the sense that is the device which is available right now, doesn't require any sort of external PC connection. Oculus Rift was there. It used to have a Bluetooth connection, tethered connection, but now, no, it doesn't require any mobile phone if at all you use Oculus Quest 2. It was just a gaming device, and now Oculus Quest is just taking on to the limited contents of education. In the sense, by using Oculus, you cannot achieve anything in education right now, but they are working on it. If Facebook is working on it, definitely they are going to change the world in coming days. You cannot take years, they'll take just days, and they'll just take a drift. I'll show you the advantages. It is a high performance device. It is having a headset and positional tracking, and it will give you immersive experience. It will take you to different world. What are the limitations that we are having Oculus Rift with is you require a PC to operate, and it is just a primary gaming device, and it is expensive. No control over the content and no control over the device. In the sense, the owner will be the device. the person who is wearing the device. No one can control it. This was the limitation that were available with Oculus Rift. If we go beyond Oculus Rift, we are having another device known as HTC Vive. HTC is also a company that has invested billions in virtual reality. So Oculus Rift, HTC Vive will be looking around like this, and for PCs, you can have every connection with your PC. You can play the video, you can join it with your PC, and then you can environment. But the other problem with HTC is also that it is a game gadget. It doesn't have extra. So what do we need to do? If at all a gaming lover there, a person who the experience, then go with HTC Vive. And in today's era, people are earning some lakhs of rupees by just playing games online. There are many gaming websites which are available. They'll give you top quality experience where you need to play the game online, you will earn. If at all you are the ultimate winner. There are hard in HTC Vive also you'll be having gadgets like you'll be having headphones, and the limitations are it is also a high price device because whenever a new technology comes in, it will be having high price. After a drift, like something like if at all you're having the device available for 10 years, then you'll be having more number of competitors, then the price will go down. And HTC Vive will also have no classroom management. You cannot control any of the movements. The device which can be controlled by a teacher is a class VR device. And if it look like this, it will be having a camera. It will be having just a camera situated onto the rear side, and it is having a headset, and it doesn't require any sort of mobile phone, and it can be controlled by using AVR, in the sense augmented reality app, by a teacher. But it requires high training, how to operate, how to develop content, how to integrate with your infrastructure, how to control, if at all there are students of around 40 in a class or 25 in a class, to manage all of them. It is something like, in today's era, it is typically tough. But in coming years, if at all we update our teachers to this technology, if at all we update our infrastructure, then this is going to have exceptionally well in our coming era. VR does not require any of the devices. Any additional devices is not required. Everything is embedded. Everything is fully integrated in a super reliable way. And it looks, and it is around 800 grams of weight. In the sense 800 grams of weight need to be put it onto the device, and it will be having straps. I'll show you. It will be having straps. You can tighten it up. A device of this caliber can be used by any of the age group, like from 6 years to 30 years, 35 years, any age. What a headset contains, it contains front-facing camera and a proprietary augmented reality classroom app, just like our Google app. By using that app, you can control the content. You can give different projects to different students in a simple class. In a sense, some people are learning how a heartbeat is done. Some people are learning what are the surface of the moon. Some people are learning blood vessels. By giving the different worksheets, they can learn different things in a different way. So what are the advantages of this device? It is a lightweight and comfortable for all ages, and the device having the straps, they are detachable, they can be cleaned, because we are living in a pandemic era. If at all we don't create a product that suits our need, then it's not going to work. It is having different vision, in the sense that it is having some buttons so that you can zoom up up to the extended level that it can provide. It can just change your angle. It has adjustment wheels to have different positions, total 360 degrees, and all the camera angles you can see around by using this headset. After this, oh, I just forgot to tell you, the cost for this device is something around 35 to 40,000 starting range. This is a device that it can be afforded by so many people. No, may not be possible, but the devices I'll show you later will be affordable by each and every one of us. I'll show you in some minutes. And we have discussed what is the Facebook Horizon. It is a virtual reality community where you can play games, you can create games, you can explore the thing, you can just go deep into the earth, you can just go on to roaming with the planes, you can do anything by using this Facebook Horizon. But what you need to have Oculus device at your home, and Oculus is only operatable by using Facebook. If at all you own Oculus and you don't have any Facebook account, then it is of no use. And next thing is VR 360. VR 360 has been experienced by each and every one of us. Just now I have shown you the read video that has been captured by using VR 360. In the sense, I'll take my all my cameras and I'll cover everything that is surrounded by me, and I'll edit the video and post it onto the YouTube. And this is freely available if at all you are a YouTube user. In the left side, you will be finding this VR 360. You just go home and just try to open that VR 360 by using a simple pointer. If at all you're using laptop, by using just a single finger gesture, you can just change the angle of your video, and it will also play along with video and audio. It doesn't affect the playing thing, and you can forward it, you can take it backward, you can play it fast, you can play it slow, you can do anything with this VR 360. This is the experience if at all we use this VR 360. In a typical classroom, I can tell you how a whale is going to jump in the water without getting the whale into my class. So are people not going to enjoy? No, they are definitely going to enjoy this. AR 360 is a free experience, and it can interact and with the real world, and our kids are going to rock, I say you. Both 360 degrees are recorded. Every degree, every angle is recorded. You can go down, you can come on to the top, you can just sit underneath the whale, and then you think that you are going to have water onto you. It allows the user to view in any direction, any possible direction. It is just how he sees the real world. He thinks that he's onto a boat and traveling into onto the sea, and he's just seeing the whale lively. He thinks that. Augmented reality is everywhere. Right now also some of the people are using augmented reality. Cricket studio discussion, India versus England cricket studio. Everyone will be discussing the strategy. Mahesh Manjrekar is telling us how to play straight drive by having different virtual views. Football analysis, in the sense Messi and Ronaldo, where they are going to stay, what are the statistics, how people will attack. Everything is going to be controlled by using this virtual reality. Hockey team planning, tennis and badminton challenges. PV Sindhu will be challenging to the referee that shuttle has been played outside, call off. And the DRS, to name a few. Augmented reality will be something like this. It's the person sitting onto a newsroom will be having just a green platform behind her, and people will see it differently. Like this is before image and this is after image. In the sense, everyone has experienced this. And next image is this. Whenever a bowler appeals for LBW, if at all it has been reviewed, then augmented reality comes into picture. It will just predict how ball will move. It is just a prediction. You can give approximately 98% this ball will drift like this only. No one gives you 100%. There is a chance of error, but 95 to 98% we believe that this ball is going to travel in this way only, and the decision will be turned or else unturned depending upon the trajectory. Now we are predicting the future in the sense ball has hit the pad only. It has not hit in the wicket, but we have projected that. It is only possible, this analysis is only possible by using augmented reality. Another example is Wimbledon or tennis or badminton. Whenever someone calls for a call out, in the sense it is going to be reviewed, and this official review will be having a trajectory that if at all ball is onto the line, and then it will be going in this direction, or else it will going to record each and everything in the real environment, and then same it has been projected into virtual reality within just fraction of seconds. Another example of augmented reality is the Google Lens. You doesn't need to ask anyone, just open up your camera, phone camera, and if at all you have internet, and just throw it onto the to your camera, and it will tell you what actually this shop is, what kind of things you are going to get in this shop. Another example is Google Maps. There are many people who will be just visiting your house based upon your location. If you throw a location using WhatsApp, they'll come down to your home by using maps. Approximately they will reach your house around 50 meters or else 10 meters, if at all precisely I can say. The days are gone where people used to ask. Now days are there, people you are telling you. In the sense, these are the things which are available. Another application, another thing which is going to come in some days is mixed reality. In a sense, mixed reality in a sense, it is going to have a blending of real world with virtuality. We are not going to talk about this much because we are going to stick around only for education. So it will take up some years to come, mixed reality, or else may have been generated, but research is still going on onto this mixed reality. And next, what do you call, a groundbreaking thing is from Microsoft known as HoloLens 2. They are planning for the HoloLens 3, but people are not taking because of it is having high cost around 1.5 lakhs. It comes in 3 variants, approximately charging around $4,500 each device. And people are finding that there are no much content available for this HoloLens, but in near future, price will go down and content will also be developed. I'll show you a video how this actually works. This is an example. It is a reality device. It will be having audio, video, and an immersive experience. And people will be talking to the HoloLens. In a sense, you configure it into your mother's voice, it will be done. In a sense, you will be looking like something like your mother is talking to you. You can configure it in the coming days. It provides you security. HoloLens 2 is providing you security. In essence, everything is stored onto Azure cloud. Only Microsoft people can access. Like you can see that your content is not being misused. This has been guaranteed by Microsoft. And you can have your content onto the cloud, and you can experience what you have previously experienced. You can have your history, everything available onto the cloud. I'll show you this HoloLens demo.
Today, I get to show you something very special. It's something we've been looking forward to for many years. When we set out to build HoloLens 2, we wanted to create something that you didn't need to learn how to use. You should just know it. And we call this instinctual interaction. Let me show you. Now, as Alex mentioned, HoloLens 2 is very comfortable. It fits just like a hat. And the only thing that's even more effortless is how I'm automatically signed in. With Windows Hello and our authentication, HoloLens 2 is actually signing me in as I put on my device. Now, not only does the HoloLens 2 recognize my hands. Look at this. Fully articulated hand tracking. And as I move my hands around, the HoloLens 2 is actually calibrating to my unique hand size. And of course, not only does the HoloLens 2 recognize me, And my hands, it also recognizes the world. Welcome to my mixed reality home. This is the place where I have all the apps and content that I use every day. Let's check some of them out. Now, I've seen many people put on HoloLens for the first time, and the first thing people do when they put on the device is they reach out their hands and try to touch the holograms. And now, you can. Look at the way the hologram's responding to my hand, almost inviting me to touch it. And in fact, I can just grab this corner to resize it. Or I can rotate it. Or move it. That's right. We are touching holograms. This is an app I've got called Spatial. Let me just put it right there. I've got another app here called Euphoria View. Now, it's a little big, so let me just use 2 hands here to make it smaller, and then rotate it so you can see. There we go. And then let me put it down here in your Spatial, maybe a bit smaller. Yeah, that's nice. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about a different kind of application. I've got a browser over there, but it's kind of far away, and I don't really want to walk over there, so let me just call it over with my voice. Follow me. This is a browser that's running Microsoft Teams, which is a tool that we use back home to collaborate. So let me see what the team's been working on. Okay, it looks like they've got a surprise for me in the playground app. I just have to say the words show surprise. All right, so let me just open up that start menu here, and then place the app, and then launch it. So now we're actually exiting my mixed reality home and going into an immersive experience. But notice that that browser that I had actually followed me in. Now this can actually be really useful when you have things like emails or PDFs that you need to reference while you're doing your work. I don't really want it following me around though while I'm showing you all this cool stuff, so let me just put it over here, and then we'll get back to it later. Welcome to the playground. We spent years exploring and refining interactions for HoloLens 2, and the playground is just a tiny sampling of the many and learn from. Our approach is basically to try out as many things as we could and look for the things that stood out. So for example, here I've got 3 sliders. Each of them is controlling this wind farm simulation, but each in a different way, using a different interaction technique. One of the things we tried is this touch slider here. So here I can just stick my finger in the slider and have it go to a particular value to control that wind speed there. It felt okay. We also tried this push slider. So this guy kind of nudged from side to side, kind of like an abacus, which was interesting. Now, the interaction that really took home the cake, though, was this pinch slider. The way that works is you just pinch it and move it wherever you want. And what we found was that people really like that tactile sensation of their fingers touching as they grab and then release. And across the board, for all interactions, the audio and visual feedback is grab, move, and then release were all really critical for making this experience feel connected. Oh, this is just so satisfying. I can't wait for you all to try this out. All right, now let's move on to a different kind of control, buttons. How do you press buttons on HoloLens 2? Well, you just reach out and press them. Now, one interesting thing that we found about buttons was that the size of the buttons actually impacted the way that people interacted with them. So for example, for the smaller one, most people would use 1 or maybe 2 fingers, but for the larger one, pretty much everyone used their entire hand. And this is kind of interesting when you think about it, because these objects don't really weigh anything, they're just digital things, but despite that, people would treat them like real things, almost as if the bigger one had more weight. I just love the way these move and the sounds they play when I press them. It's great. All right, how about something that uses all 10 fingers? Well, to test that out, we built a piano. So here I can just play a chord, or I can play the keys one at a time. All right, so where's that surprise that the team had for me? Oh, that's right, I had to say those words. Show surprise. Ooh, look at that hummingbird over there, it's gorgeous. I wonder if it will fly to my hand. Yeah, oh wow, this is beautiful. I just love the way that it's following my hand around. I've got to tell the team, they've done a great job. And in fact, I don't even need to use my hands to do this because I can use my eyes and my voice. That's right, HoloLens 2 has eye tracking. So I can just look over to this browser here and look at the bottom of the screen to scroll it, and then send my message. Start dictation. The hummingbird looks great, exclamation mark. Send. So this is what we mean by instinctual interaction. By combining our hands, our eyes, and our voice, HoloLens 2 works in a more human way.
So are the devices are affordable, or how many devices are available so that the first thing I present to you is the VR box. Box is available online on Amazon website. Let me tell you that this device is now available by a price of around 699 rupees only. In the sense, everyone can afford this 700 rupee gadget, but what you need to do, you need to just insert a mobile phone into that, and then you can have this experience. VR 360 can also be used a simple YouTube video, but your child is going to have a good knowledge how to walk onto a moon surface and all that. And next device which I present to you is Procus One VR headset. Lens. This is a 40 mm lens and has been supported for that is iOS as well as Android. And how will it look like? It look like this. A very classy look, classifying look. It comes in black variant. And what are the dimensions that it has is 10 by 10 into 8 centimeters, and it is approximately around 300 grams. If at all you insert a mobile, then it will go around 400 to 500 grams maybe. So it will support the compatible device which are supported are Android, iOS phones, but that phones require a gyroscope function. Almost all the mobiles are nowadays are having this gyroscope function, but you need to check out whether it is a whether gyroscope function is available to your mobile device. Then only you can go with this Procus, or else you need to go with previous one, right? The company of origin, the company where it has been made or manufactured is in India. The item weight is around 290 grams, and the price is approximately 1987 rupees. That is below 2000 device gadget. You can have this, or else if at all you want a premium one, then we can go for the next one. The next one known is Irusu Pay. This is the most used device if at all we go with this Amazon, and there are approximately 70% of the users trusting this device. They have 5-star ratings, and it comes around with a price tag of 3000 rupees. And this is slightly heavier because of it contains length, in the sense it contains a remote control. In the sense you have this remote control into your hand, as well as you will be having what do you call headphones in that. You can this device is somewhat like you can use it with different pages and all that, and you can clean the complete device. You can take off the device, and it has been rating 350. After you put on your mobile, it increases to around 450 grams. Next, any sort of mobile is Oculus Quest 2, which comes in the different variants like 64 GB, and you can have 32 GB, even 60 variant is also available. Approximately is around 35,000 to 40,000 when it comes to different websites, and it comes with two pairs, like you'll be having your device along with your controls. It is approximately around grams, and the country of origin is USA. We exported product. Previously, it was and to use the Oculus, as we have discussed, we need to have Facebook account compulsory. Controller and repeated charging because it doesn't contain any sort of batteries. C-type batteries available. You can charge a runtime of around 4 hours.
Dear participants, please wait a moment. We have an audio connectivity issue. Dear participants, please stay with us. The resource person is joining in a moment. सर आपका माइक म्यूट है.
Sorry, due to some technical glitch, my call has been dropped. I'm sorry for that. Let me finish last of my slides. I was showing you this Irusu Play device, and then we'll be having Oculus Quest. This is an advanced technology device, and it will cost you around 35,000 to 36,000 of rupees, and it comes with the two devices like a controller.
अरफात सर.
Yes sir.
सर आपकी पीपीटी शेयर नहीं हो रही है.
Oh, sorry.
प्रेजेंट में.
Sorry. Right. I'll just take around. Lastly, we'll be having VR box. I'll just finish it off in 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. That's all. VR box is available with the price tagging of around 700 rupees. I think this can be invested by each and every one of us. It is available on Amazon right now. There is a sale going on. If at all you want to buy, then you can go for it. 700 is not a big thing. We can invest and we can have a good experience of how this technology will be evolved and how a 3D video will look like if by using this device. And next device, we are having a good standard with 40 mm lens, and it is supported for iOS as well as Android devices, and it will cost you an elegant look like and under 2,000. This is the device and 75% users are very happy with this Irusu Play VR headset. It comes with headphones as well as a controller, and it is for Android, not for iOS. It has been designed in China. It comes around 3,000 rupees, and it is also available on Amazon. And next device that is a groundbreaking device. This is Oculus 2 Quest. This is a device where you can have a good experience of Facebook Horizon, and you can play gaming. Right now, educational content is limited by using this Oculus Quest 2, but gaming, if at all you are a game lover, then you can go with this device. It comes with the different variants. It looks like this. 16 GB is available, 32 as well as 64 GB variant, where you can have headset along with controllers, and you can get some charger so that it can get charged. And the play time for this device is around 4 hours. It's all, sorry, 699, 36,000, 37,000 around. And in a nutshell, if it all will come with VR 360 videos can be used freely, and what we need to invest is just 699 rupees by getting a device, and it is affordable. By using that, we are able to understand complex topics, and every bit of detail can be explained to the user, and knowledge retention rate will drastically increases. And if at all we use this technology, then we need to have creators of the technology. In a sense, We need to have persons who can operate this, who can create the content, and we require good learners or good experienced persons to work with. And in future, experts are needed so that a good content can be developed. Let us revisit our first slide, learning outcomes. We have discussed or we have described what is AR or VR, and we have described the scope, why AR or VR. After that, equipment we have discussed what AR or VR requires. What will be the retention rate if at all we use AR or VR, we have discussed. What should be the proper infrastructure, what devices we need to use, we have discussed. What are the budgets, different budgets available, how can we afford, we have discussed. The last, seventh question, you need to answer yourself that are we ready to use this technology? Here I end my session, and I expect some of the questions from your side. I hope you people have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. With the IRUSU, the using that remote control, can we interact with the 3D object or a virtual object?
Yes, sir. If at all, no, sir. If at all you are using any sort of like for Facebook Horizon, then it is possible, sir. But by using just a simple video, you are not able to operate with that. You need having a gaming experience, like you need to install something like PUBG and Free Fire kind of games, and then you can use it. There are many games available.
Sir, suppose if I created a content by using Unity, okay,
yes,
and
sir.
that consists of a virtual object, and
yes, sir.
with
yes,
the
sir.
help of that HMD, that you have mentioned, IRUSU, okay, that's having
yes,
the
sir,
remote
yes.
control.
Yes,
Are
sir,
we
yes,
able
sir.
to interact with that object?
Yes, sir. Merely like some of the controls, like we have a video has been given in that hope lens, right?
Okay.
By using some of the buttons we can push, we can just change the way it looks. We can just grab it, we can just close it down, we can enlarge it. We also can do that up to some extent.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Satyendra, sir.
Yeah, my audio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't.
Yes,
Actually, I don't have any query, but that is
yes,
something. If you permit, I would like to add one major concern.
Yes,
though
sir.
you have explained very well in very structured manner all the concerns, or the aspects about this AR and VR. I
Yes,
think
sir.
once we talk about the augmented reality, it's a as we know now that it's a blending of the real life experiences and real life maybe characters or the virtual reality or the virtually created characters.
Yes,
So
sir.
if we talk about the traditional methodology where teachers are actually using those old-fashioned textbooks and the material, chalk, everything, and they are developing the curriculum. So
Yes, sir.
developing the curriculum and the you can say the framing the curriculum in accordance with this AR and VR is a very major challenge.
Very
Because
major challenge, sir.
sir, because I myself into the academics for last 25 or 26 years, though I'm into
Yes.
technology, but
Yes,
I've
sir.
seen this once you're developing a curriculum and software person who are developing this technology, maybe the Microsoft, maybe the other organizations, it has been seen, it is very common practice of software development, the personnel, that they ask the data from those customers in a particular format or in a particular order, so that
In a
that can be,
structured way.
yeah, so that it could be fit into the application, I mean, during the or technological framework which they are developing. So a
Yes, sir.
teacher who has been teaching for last 25 years the mathematics or geography or history, who
Yes,
are
sir.
not that much savvy except using the mobile phone, and now under the pressure of COVID or other pandemic, this thing using Zoom and other application software or the platform. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is a very big challenge, I believe. So I mean, developing technology is being developed, is
Yes,
being
sir.
updated. So we have to take that into consideration also. And second point is the portability of the content, because content in this field of VR and AR is very poor. If you go into market, because for last, I think I started working in VRML in 1995. I used to work with virtual reality modeling language 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Once we used to work with the HTML. The internet was actually launched by us in 1995 here in my
Yes, sir.
city where I belong to. So, but I have seen there are so many changes done, but still the psychology of the people who are using it is not changed. And portability of content is again a major issue. You, for example, one school is using the this thing, you can say the Google Lens, or maybe, sorry, Microsoft Kinect camera or something else, and they develop a content, they develop a system just to teach history. But what about if they go to participate in any inter-college, inter-school competition where various schools are actually participating, and all the schools are different organizations, they must be having different kind of content, and the technology is being used. So sharing those is will be restricted. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is
On a
also
class platform, it is very difficult to share your content, and the people who are using it are will find difficulty. In our slide, I have mentioned that within coming 10 years, there is a technological drift. In the sense, people who are coming after 10 years will be having a mindset that they need to develop everything in VR. Right now, at the age of my age, if at all someone says to develop a content in VR, it will be very difficult for me. But the years to come, the students who have been using learning here from early age, they may find it somewhat easy compared to me, and they will develop in future these type of contents. And at that time, if at all we could remember that we used to go to Photoshop or enhancing of our like face while printing out a photo. But right now, if you apply a simple filter by using Snapchat, it can be done. You doesn't need to be a Photoshop expert now to look beautiful, because you're having Snapchat filters. But it was not possible earlier at our age, when we are teenagers, right? So there is a technological drift, and it will take into consideration all the factors, and it will move around like that. As per my knowledge, maybe some people will come around in future, they will try to develop these content, and they'll succeed even, sir. It is a strong
Actually, we
hope
have to,
from my side.
yes. Actually, we have to start today itself,
Yes, sir.
because
Yes, sir.
explicit learning, and we are more focusing on the machine learning, or the deep learning, or the artificial intelligence.
Yes,
But
sir. Yes,
it
sir.
is something where explicit learning is also in picture.
Sure,
So
sir.
using technology in that may become, and there is one more issue which is now in consideration. The artificial intelligence, or the data, the big data, what we are gathering just to develop this kind of technology, is being biased by some of the countries, like China.
Yes.
What they are doing,
Yes, sir.
they are just putting the content over the net so that it is biased with the Chinese community, or Chinese culture. So American, or the Indians, or maybe the Australian technology developer who are using that big data, that is somehow adding a bias with this
Yes, sir.
with the Chinese culture. So maybe after 10 years, once the technology is into the picture, the children from our country, they must be, they must be following somehow, directly or indirectly, the Chinese tradition or the culture. So that
Yes,
is
sir.
again a very major issue. But thank you
Yes.
so much, sir. It was very wonderful, and
Thank you, sir.
we got so good knowledge about all this the topics you have covered, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Sir, I think we don't have any more questions. And thank you so much for such an in-depth explanation about this emerging technology. It was really food for thought, and I'm sure the participants liked it too. Thank you again, and thank you all the participants for joining us today. And we'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock for the next session. Thank you, everyone.